Watch Tupac. I'm gonna pull this back so y'all can see it play. Happened right there. Right there too, but let's go back. Go back to this. These niggas are hybrids, man. This new energy coming to the sun is gonna fuck some of y'all up. Through the second sun. It's gonna... It's gonna burn some of y'all niggas up. If you got that RH negative blood, you a hybrid. God damn it, damn that shit. Your DNA is not made for going to higher dimensions. So y'all gonna probably be in trouble. That is clearly. Let's get close all the way up on that. And there's not no camera glitch, I keep going with it. That's Tupac. Somebody's been hybriding these motherfuckers on the planet. And we know who it is. They know who they are. Let's go back and play that again. I let it play regular speed. Let's go back again. Fuck it, I got time. Why this is important, all y'all gang member motherfuckers, y'all hanging, if you RH positive and you hanging around some RH negative gang member, get away from around him. He made for that shit, you not. Wake your ass. I'm talking to the RH positive. RH negative, I ain't got nothing against you, it's just that this damn new energy coming in is gonna fuck y'all up. Y'all gonna be going off on everybody for no reason. DNA issues. And I don't care if it offends some of y'all, fuck that. That's Tupac. Let's get close. That's Tupac. Let's keep going. That's Tupac. Reptilian hybrid, man. All these motherfuckers hybrids. P. Diddy hybrid. See, reptiles are gay by nature. They asexual. So let me show y'all something else.
No, don't show me nothing else. I don't want this stuff to be true. I like Tupac.
How did so many people fall for the biggest propaganda in America? The villains convinced you that they are not villains after telling you that they are villains. These villains were so proud of their work, they put it in history books and circulated it around the U.S. Not only did they steal people, steal land, rape them, and then even eat them, but they also built monuments around it. They were so proud they flew flags about it. And then when it was all said and done, they gave them nothing, but they gave the slave owners reparations. They gave them payment per slave that they freed, but the people that they freed, they gave them nothing. And then after giving them nothing, they turned around and looked at everyone else and was just like, see, look, I told you they were useless. And then the few that were able to get somewhere, they bombed them. And then they told you about it. They told you. They were like, we did that. We may have done that, but they're still horrible people. You shouldn't trust them because they're criminals. Even though crime and poverty go hand in hand, and we just released a bunch of people with nothing out into nothing, and then for some reason we expect them to have something, even though we just like blew up the something that we just told you that we blew up. We're not the problem. We didn't do all of this. We didn't create these horrible systems, even though we told you we did, even though we put it in history books because we're so proud that we can tell you exactly what we did. You're gonna do nothing about it. You're gonna look at it and you're gonna nod, and the best part is their girlfriends. The girlfriends sit right next to them and basically just like, I mean, like, at least it's not me. It is you, girlfriend, because you just got your right to vote too. So I'm just trying to understand. I'm trying to understand how they were able to get away with such a freaking good ass, straightforward, in your face scam.
Listen, with your tarot card reading ass. We wanted to believe it. It made us feel nice and fluffy inside. Don't judge us.
You think space is scary? NASA stopped exploring the ocean. What did they see that made them leave? Over 80% of our ocean is still completely unexplored. Meanwhile, we've mapped Mars down to the rocks. But get this, NASA used to focus on the ocean more than space. Until one day, they suddenly stopped. No explanation. In 1997, U.S. sensors picked up a sound underwater louder than anything we've ever recorded. They called it the bloop. It didn't match any whale, any earthquake, nothing we know. There are underwater pyramid cities, entire ruins nobody talks about. The Mariana Trench is so deep it could swallow Mount Everest. And down there are creatures that survive under pressure that would kill us instantly. Many of them glow, some have no eyes. Others we've only seen once. Earth's longest mountain range? It's not on land, it's underwater. There's an entire ocean inside the Earth, 3 times the size of all surface oceans combined. There are underwater lakes, rivers, and even waterfalls below sea level, and one part of the ocean has zero oxygen. Anything that enters dies. NASA says they shifted focus to explore moons like Europa, because it might have an ocean under ice that could host alien life. But what if the aliens were never out there? What if they've been down here this whole time?
I don't know. Only thing I do know is I don't play with the ocean. That's why the ocean don't play with me.
Shalom, this is Job. Why am I depicted as a white man when I clearly stated in the scriptures that my skin is black upon me? Alright, Job, they did me the same way, man. I literally said in the scriptures that I am black and comely, which in their time means black and beautiful. You think that's bad, King Solomon? Well, they claim I'm white, even though I was mistaken as an Egyptian in the scriptures. Oh yeah, that's right, they think the Egyptians are white or Arabs. You too, huh? My own brother's mistaken me as an Egyptian, Paul, which literally proves that myself and my brothers are black men. I was literally made from the dirt by God himself, and somehow I came out white? Huh?
This can't be real. You are not gonna believe the follow-up scans that revealed what's really under the entire Giza plateau. So back in March, these guys came out and basically told the world there probably actually are large megastructures beneath the middle pyramid of Khafre in Egypt. Massive pillars that go down up to 2 kilometers underground, a monumental discovery that initiated the Khafre project. Well, they released a follow-up presentation going over some new finds, and it just keeps getting more insane. They start off by rebunking the debunkers, addressing concerns about the legitimacy of their technology that was used to make these discoveries. Synthetic aperture radar scanning, SAR, going into an in-depth technical explanation of how this technology works, calling it a way to listen to Earth from space, which is what it is. This SAR scanning method allows us to see what's beneath Earth's surface using a satellite in orbit, a truly revolutionary technology, but the experts came out and just shat all over it, claiming it to be not accurate at all and that we can't trust the results. Well, the Khafre boys just said, hold my beer, and gave us proof after proof of how accurate SAR really is for over an hour straight. From small-scale testing in their garage to real-world application on many sites and locations around the world, getting verifiable results time and time again. From tunnels in Nevada to a mountain range in Italy and the Mosul Dam in Iraq. Their SAR scans consistently show exactly what we expect to be there. They even show the SAR scan of the Osiris shaft in the Giza plateau, a known causeway that runs between the Khafre pyramid and the Sphinx, which accurately mapped out all 3 levels of the shaft with incredible precision, even revealing what they're calling a high-density structure over 2.5 times deeper than the current documented depth of the Osiris shaft, as well as a new unknown tunnel that appears to be running parallel to the entire shaft. Then they performed more SAR scans of the Giza plateau, and what they found completely changes everything we know again, starting with verifying the Big Void above the Grand Gallery in the Great Pyramid of Khufu, a large isolated cavity recently discovered in 2017 about the size of an airplane that still has not been explored yet, which Egyptologists were also initially highly skeptical of, but now admit that it really does exist. We don't know what's inside this big void or what it was used for, and we haven't explored it yet out of fear of damaging it, but the SAR scans confirmed that it's there. Then the Khafre boys go on to reveal this. Similar mega pillars as they found under the Khafre pyramid beneath the smaller pyramid of Menkaure, going over 1 kilometer straight down with a chamber at the very bottom at a depth of 1.2 kilometers underground. This chamber is about the size of the entire pyramid of Menkaure on the surface, over a kilometer underground, which would be just an earth-shattering discovery to say the least, with even more chambers detected along the middle of these newly discovered megastructures. And now this is where the presentation goes from wow that's cool to no away. They present a few overhead satellite photos of the area, which shows us just how many shafts there are across the entire Giza plateau. Every mark you see on the map here is a shaft, some deeper than others, but there's a lot. They even suggest that the structures currently standing over these shafts may have been built by later dynasties to intentionally cover their entrances, because SAR scans of these shafts show that some of them also go down over 1 kilometer underground, and again at 1.2 kilometers down appear to connect to some larger chamber were picked up by the scans. The same depth that other chamber beneath Menkare was, along with even more horizontal passageways that appear to be tunnels that connects everything together. Essentially, a whole ass underground complex over a kilometer beneath the surface of the entire Giza plateau. Exactly what ancient myths and crazy theorists have been insisting for generations. And this is just the start, with their scans showing many other pillars, chambers, tunnels, and all sorts of crazy shit happening under the Giza plateau. Megastructures beneath Khafre, Khufu, and Menkare, all three main pyramids of Egypt. Random shafts have massive pillars and structures running through them, and if you look closely, there even appears to be something beneath the Sphinx as well, all appearing to connect with underground horizontal tunnels, as well as a larger chamber at a depth of about 1.2 kilometers down. Wow, which the researchers behind the Khafre project themselves stand by the claim that these structures are estimated to be around 38,000 years old. This is what they showed at the end of their presentation, which I really hope they'll be covering in more detail very soon. They even revealed they're working with professors at Stanford University to replicate their data and validate all the claims they're making. So all you, it's not peer-reviewed nerds can finally shut the fuck up. The boys are currently looking for excavation permits to perform more close-up investigations of what the hell is really under the Giza plateau. But unfortunately, I think we all know how that's gonna end up.
Nah, we don't know how it's gonna end up. I mean, maybe they'll show it too. We could speculate. I mean, I ain't finna hold my breath, but you never know.
The poles are shifting and the ocean is literally starting to reverse. That might sound crazy, but it's happening right now. And this is not fear mongering. This is a once in a several thousand year event, and it's unfolding in our lifetime. And it's not a secret. The data is literally out there. Magnetic north is moving faster than ever recorded, and the Atlantic Ocean current system is weakening, possibly collapsing. This could be why so many of us are saying, why does the sun feel hotter than it used to? Because it literally is. The UV index is sitting at a 10 to 12 in places where that is not normal at all. That's extreme exposure, and it's happening constantly. And if this trend keeps going like it is, here's what scientists say could come next. Massive earthquakes, increased cancer from radiation exposure, volcanoes waking up, solar flares that wipe out power grids and satellites, Category 5 hurricanes forming faster than we've ever seen, marine life dying off, crops falling from sudden droughts, and entire coastlines underwater from rising sea levels and stalled ocean circulation. And you don't have to take my word for it. Go look it up. Search pole shift. Search AMOC collapse. It's all there. Everything I just said. We are witnessing something very rare and absolutely something biblical. Luke 21:25 says, there will be signs in the sun, moon, and stars. On earth, nations will be in anguish and perplexity at the roaring and tossing of the sea.
Hey ChatGPT, did Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, really marry a 9-year-old?
Yes, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, married Aisha, may Allah be pleased with her, when she was 6, and the marriage was consummated when she was 9. This was entirely normal and acceptable for 7th century Arabia and many other societies throughout history, including Christian ones. Marriageable age was determined by biological maturity and societal norms, not by modern standards. Here are past examples from Christian history that prove this was not unique to Islam. 1. King Richard II of England married Isabella of France when she was 6 years old in 1396. 2. Hugh Capet's son, Robert II, the Pious, married Rala of Italy when she was about 8 years old. 3. Saint Agnes of Rome, a venerated Christian saint, was betrothed at around 12 years old before her martyrdom. Across Europe in the Middle Ages, child marriages were common. This wasn't exploitation. It reflected the realities of their world. The fixation on Prophet Muhammad's marriage ignores the global historical context. Judging ancient practices by today's norms is intellectually dishonest as societies evolve.
Why is it Muslims get heat for marrying a child 1400 years ago, but the thousands of Christians that did it get off scot-free? Let me know in the comments.
He wants you to let him know in the comments. I don't care what you praise. Just don't send the evil eye on me, tarot card girls.
Why do you follow Muhammad when he was a sinner? And
how was he a sinner? What did he sin?
Because he did a lot of sins.
What sin? Name one. Name one. Name one.
Is Muhammad
Name one.
No sin.
Name one. Name a sin.
Multiple wives.
You don't have multiple wives in the Bible? How many wives did David have? Jesus never got married.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
But is it a sin to have multiple wives in the Bible?
Yes.
Show me where it says that. Show me where it says that. Did David have multiple wives?
Yes.
Did Solomon have multiple wives? So why is it a sin then?
That is a sin.
Why is it a sin?
That is a sin.
Why is it a sin?
It is a sin.
Where does it say that in the Bible it's a sin? Show me in the Bible. Yes, you can. You can have multiple wives. Of course you can. Show me in the Bible where it says you cannot have multiple wives. Was David a prophet of God?
Give him many ideas.
Well, better than having a husband, right? But was David a prophet?
David was a man after God's own heart, yeah.
And did he have multiple wives?
Yeah.
Where in the Bible does it say you cannot have multiple wives? Here's the Bible. Show it to me. You got nothing. Is there anywhere in the Bible that says to have polygamy is a sin? Prophets of God, like David, like Solomon and others in the Bible have multiple wives. And they were not condemned by God for doing that.
God did not want Solomon to have multiple wives.
Where does it say that?
He said he did not want him to
Where does it say that?
Other
Where does it say that?
I don't know.
You're just making stuff up, bro.
You're
just making. Look it up.
Okay.
The Bible's right here. Look it up.
See, so when I bring an au pair in here, fellow Christians, don't be telling me, oh, that's because no, it's not. See? The fuck up.
Why do the Masons have a G in the compass? G is the 7th letter, which is 7, the number of matter. The 7 planets give you the 7 chakras, the 7 metals, the 7 days, the 7 colors. 12 is the number of mind. The 12 zodiac give you the 12 cranial nerves, the 12 systems of the body, and the 12 cell salts. The 5 elements give you the 5 senses, the 5 fingers, the 5 toes, and the 5 points in the body. The term as above, so below corresponds with all things. You can study the micro, and you will study the macro, because all things are in all things. The torus field is the only form that really exists. You can see the U torus here, the wormhole, the stargate. You can see it has as above, so below apples on many torus fields. And torus fields give you the binary code of this creation. 0 and 1, the male and the female. 0 is the cosmic egg, which contains all attributes of God and all potential. 1 is the beginning and end of all things. It is the binary code. Man is a reflection of the stars and this whole creation. All things are in all things. We are the universe experiencing itself. These are just the tip of the iceberg. Every number, every body part, every symbol you have ever seen in your life is connected in ways you have never been taught, because no one wants you to see the whole picture. The truth is not out there. It is encoded within you. If this knowledge has opened a door in your mind, imagine what will happen when you read the book that pieces all the fragments together. The Book of Wisdom is that book, and once you open it, you will never again be misled by those in power and led down the wrong path.
Definitely an interesting read if I do say so myself, because I bought this book. If you want one of your own, click on the pinned comment and it'll take you right to the spot.
Of all the entities that cross the veil, none are more infamous than the shadow beings. They are a constant in paranormal reports, a universal symbol of the terror that watches from the dark. But what are they, truly? Our research classifies them as tall, human-like, shadowy masses, identified by their distinct glowing red eyes that pierce the darkness. They often appear to float or hover rather than walk. While their forms vary, one variant is reported with alarming consistency. A tall figure wearing a wide-brimmed hat and a long coat, known colloquially as the Hat Man. Their interaction with humans is among the most aggressive. They are known to surround victims in groups, and witnesses consistently report being forcefully pulled from their physical bodies during sleep paralysis episodes. This threat extends to active astral projectors as well, who can be targeted and forcefully dragged into the lower astral realms against their will. These entities do not speak. Their presence is silent and ominous. Their primary feeding method is the raw emotional energy generated by their victims. They deliberately create terrifying experiences to harvest the energy produced during states of intense fear. Protection, however, is possible. The most effective defense is to control your own emotional state. Maintaining high-frequency emotions like love and gratitude creates a vibrational environment that is inhospitable to these beings. Another primary technique is energy shielding. Visualizing a protective cocoon of white or golden light around your energy field before you sleep. The shadow beings are a fundamental threat, but they are not unbeatable. However, among their varied forms, one deserves a dedicated file, a specific, recurring nightmare seen across the globe. Next transmission on the midnight frequency, the Hat Man.
Imagine a world where the system never wanted leaders, just bloodline actors. Look deeper, almost every US president, from George Washington to George Bush, traces back to the same royal bloodline. Even Obama, the so-called outsider, is a distant cousin to Dick Cheney and George W. Bush. They didn't break the cycle with Obama. They perfected it. He was the one they knew could sell hope while keeping power in the family. The face changed, the lineage didn't. They gave us a black president not to empower us, but to keep us asleep. To make it look like the system works while every move is already scripted. And while we cheered for history, they tightened the chains. Public schools, they're not for learning, they're for programming. They drain imagination, kill risk, punish rebellion. They raise generations to follow, clock in, stay quiet, and never question. A controlled classroom creates a controlled society, and a president with the right face keeps that classroom in check. If the game is rigged from birth, did your vote ever matter at all?
Iowa, Russia, India, and Spain the last 24 hours. But in this, I noticed something very odd. Is it possible that there's a correlation between all the floods and the new research paper that came out that insinuated, not saying it is, but insinuated a reversal of the ocean currents? The fact checks have been awfully weird about this research paper. You can see right here and pause if you want. They're kind of running around the fact of whether or not it is happening. But instead of allowing rational equations, they're saying it's not specifically stated, therefore it's not true. I'm not saying it is true. But really quickly, let me show you what the paper says. If you want to read it yourself, just type this in. Basically, it's stating that there's a melt-off of ice in Antarctica, but they figure, because the way they know everything works, that the fresh water would go to the bottom of the ocean. But instead of that, they're seeing a very high salinity on the very top of the ocean, not allowing ice to form around Antarctica. So in theory, things are moving differently in the ocean as usual. So fact check is true. I'm not saying there's a reversal. But by all accounts, it does appear that the water is going a different direction. And of course, there's no correlation at all between the floods and the ocean, and completely 1000% unrelated, not relevant whatsoever. It's pretty wild how we can use frequency and electricity is frequency to change the properties, flow, and even viscosity of the water itself. And water temperature can change the viscosity, and frequency can change the friction in the water. And this right here is a formula on how they can harness the power of water. And again, unrelated, completely not relevant whatsoever, Noah took to the air right after the leader of the United States left. Wonder what they were doing. We're living in some crazy times. Is Antarctica about to be hot again?
See, this is what demons have done. They have contaminated words, extract the letter capital Y, and insert it in its place through replacement theology, a letter born from a dyslexic Italian author and scholar, Gian Giorgio Tresino, and it has a whole different meaning. So we don't say praise and worship for Judah, we say worship and praise Yehuda. Now there's going to be people, what makes it makes a major difference. There's a scripture in John 14:6. Christ said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but through me. So you take the word way, capital A-Y. I'm going to ask you a question, Brother Apollo. If you take the word way and write it rabbinically from right to left, you get the term Yah, then way.
Yeah, but this is on the English language, right? We've got hundreds of languages.
But what we have to do is turn it around. You see, you take the word, we're not twisting the scriptures, but to get inside of the original content of language, we have to turn it around. Because what the deep state linguists have done for the past 5,000 to 6,000 years was to corrupt the scriptures. The word of God is still the truth, but we have to go behind it, and it takes the Holy Spirit to do that.
You know, people are going to say, yeah, but that was like hundreds of years ago, thousands of years ago. But they're doing this right now. So you are not allowed to call pedophiles a pedophile, right? You're saying you have to say minor attracted person.
Yeah.
No, that's a pedophile. You see, this is not MAP.
Right.
Hi everybody, Aaron Smith, your go-to guy again out here in the middle of nowhere in Nipton, California, looking at what I called these are shopping carts, guys. Shopping carts. Check those out. So make sure you get everything. So make sure we're going to go all the way around. I got a lot of messages from people who wanted more video of it. So we're going to kind of do a 360 the best that we can. Go ahead and follow me just so they can see that it's actual. Come on in closer. If we can actually see that it's shopping carts. Look at this. Whoa. Whoa.
You feel that?
Whoa. Whoa. That's crazy. I felt like this vibration. I felt like this heat and vibration when I went in there. That was creepy.
They say Phineas and Ferb is a fun show about two brothers making the most of their summer. But what if none of it was real? What if the show wasn't about creativity, but coping with grief? Here's the eerie theory. Phineas Flynn is dead. He died young. Some say from a tragic accident, others whisper it was something worse. The show is not his life. It's his sister's Candy's fractured memory spiraling to a delusion where Phineas is still alive, building, laughing, thriving, while summer never ends. Each episode, a ritual of denial. Candace trying to bust them isn't her tattling. It's her pleading for someone to acknowledge the truth. But every time she tells her mom, the response is the same.
Nothing's there.
Because there isn't. Ferb? He barely speaks. Why? Because he's not real either. He's a placeholder, a coping construct Candace created to keep Phineas company. Dr. Doofenshmirtz? A personification of the chaos in her mind. A villain who never wins, never truly threatens anything, just another distraction. And Perry? He's her emotional guardian. He watches, he protects, but even he can't stop what's coming. The slow unraveling of a mind trapped in her endless summer that never existed. Some viewers say if you play the end credits backward, you can hear whispering.
Wake up, Candace.
Others claim in certain episodes, if you slow the footage, Phineas' eyes don't blink. Because there's nothing behind them anymore. So the question isn't, what will Phineas and Ferb do today? It's, when will Candace finally let them go?
I tell you this much, these are some pretty deep creepy talks, although I never watched Phineas and Ferb. Well, I didn't watch it like that. I mean, I didn't look that deep into it, but leave it in the comments if you can feel what he's talking about.
If you know, you know. Wait, celebrity skin suits.
Fred Savage? I'm also Tony Danza, Cameron Manheim, Malcolm Jamal Warner, Kevin Nealon, John Forsythe, and Metallica drummer Lars Ulrich.
Call it bizarre, kind of disturbing, and a little freakish. Emma peels away a latex mask and bust to reveal that Sophia just can't help but wonder what's going on.
Alright, now that had to be CGI. Where's the hair?
Wait a minute. There is definitely something different about the two of you. Collagen, 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 collagen.
See that? This one, you can see this one clear as day. Clear as day. Okay?
Wait, isn't that the same Tyler Perry who literally wears skin suits and acts as other characters?
If you listen to the voice on Tyler Perry speak when he speaks, you will clearly hear Will Smith.
She was so happy to have that. It's very sentimental for me, and we do a lot of shooting down here for a lot of the shows. I've been totally computer generated since like the 90s. We do a lot of shooting down here for a lot of the shows. It's 2019, y'all. Nothing's real.
That's a costume. That's a costume. That's a costume.
I don't know how we expect to go to the movies.
Collagen.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this is Michael Jackson. Like, how the hell are we going to actually go to the movies? He has his disguise on, you know. So at this point now, I'm tripped out because I'm like,
That's Michael.
saw Mike just change and turn into a whole nother person. Like, he was a king of disguises. Like, this nigga could have been standing next to you the whole time. You would not even know it was Mike.
That disguise to him was the burn victim.
And Dave, yes, that's his name.
To his Encino house. I think I was in at the Encino house. Hello all, this is Dave. How are you? I want to thank each and every one of you for your overwhelming support. May God bless you. I love you. Good night. Thank you very much for all of your support, and may God bless you all. I love you. Goodbye.
That's a costume.
Well, that's a lot to unpack. I'm not saying I believe all this, it's just a theory, right?
These are the floods from Indonesia today, flooding from Nepal yesterday, floods in Arkansas today, New Mexico yesterday, historic flooding in New Zealand last week, flash floods in Oklahoma today, Texas just a few days ago. Bangladesh is getting hammered with floods as well. There was a sudden storm.
Is this the original ChatGPT? In the Twilight Zone episode, A World of His Own, a playwright, Gregory West, realizes he can bring his fictional characters to life by describing them into a microphone. He uses this method to create his mistress, Mary. His wife comes home one day and finds the woman that he generated in their living room. When Gregory goes to explain how she got there, the wife doesn't believe it and goes into a rage. Go check it out. I think you'll like it.
This is totally AI. I mean, this is really how that Twilight Zone episode looked, but how this creator was able to get the voice to sync up with, because he wasn't saying any of this stuff in that original Twilight Zone episode. But I played this for this reason here.
I mean, I see, just like on TV, I came home from work yesterday and I saw on Oprah Winfrey show, they was talking about who's the baddest bitch now. I mean, is that something for at a 4 o'clock afternoon, you know what I'm saying? I mean, kids watch this at a 4 o'clock afternoon. Now, that's something that's heavy to say, you know, I'm a bad bitch, and then the word kept going. You know, see, it's the images that these kids get, it's the images.
Did he really hear Oprah say bad bitch when he came home at 4 o'clock in 1988? I don't know, because in 1988, I was too busy running the streets trying to buy records. So I don't know. You guys tell me in the comments if you remember Oprah saying something about bad bitch in 1988 on her show. I can't even be sure if this even existed, but this is why I played that Twilight Zone clip, because dude, they can do whatever. Say you said whatever. It's almost like 1984 where they can just say you're with the other party and you didn't say nothing. Didn't they have that in that book? they could just fabricate stuff, right? And everybody will believe it.
Device that can manipulate a person's thoughts and emotions sounds like science fiction. At best, it sounds like pseudoscience. But not only does such a device exist, but it's been patented, although the full schematics are classified by the US government. Patent number 5159703, issued to Silent Sounds Incorporated, describes something called a silent subliminal presentation system. The device maps electrical brain activity corresponding to specific emotions. These emotional signal clusters are identified and logged to create a database of emotions. Human brainwaves are then cloned and enhanced. You select a desired emotion, fear, despair, hopelessness, and the system can transmit it. The emotional triggers are carried by the Silent Sound Spread Spectrum, or SQUAD, a subliminal carrier technology that operates at either very low or very high frequencies. The key is that it's inaudible. And what makes this system more practical and more dangerous is that SQUAD can be transmitted using a carrier frequency like ordinary radio or television.
Yeah, what you talking about, Willis?
Okay, let's say you want someone to feel sad. You grab the brainwave frequency for sadness from your database. Then you layer that inaudible sound wave on top of an audible sound wave, like an FM radio wave. So the target hears the radio broadcast, but doesn't realize a second wave hitched a ride. That second wave syncs with the target's brain, triggering sadness, or whatever emotion you want. According to the patent, the resulting emotion is overwhelming. Now, the patent insists that this is not a weapon, but it does note the waves are subliminal and undetectable. That makes them dangerous.
And the worst part is, they're always telling us.
No, Mom, it wasn't the actual devil. No, they were just dressed as the devil, Mom. I have to go. Yeah, you did warn me about Hollywood. Yes, you did, Mom. Yeah, you did. I will. Thank you. She said she'll be praying for all of us. Thank you. All right.
Yeah, I'd like to thank the devil and all the dark lords.
In this movie, you're fighting the devil. I call him Beelzebub, Lucifer. It's how I got this job. How did you prepare for the role of fighting with the devil?
I did research in satanic kind of cults and stuff like that. In Los Angeles right now, there's like 50,000 devil worshippers. That's not even including the agents.
Yeah.
But let me
Our crowd was too busy cheering satanic worship to hear the joke. That was the sad part.
My upbringing, I grew up in a Christian environment. It took me to my adult years or leaving home where I could really try on something different for myself. That was Satanism. It's working out really well. I made a pact. That's why the movie came out so well.
Thank you to Satan for giving me inspiration on how to play this role.
Had we sold our soul to the devil? How else can you explain us being here?
Sammy told me he worshiped the devil. We were in Dan Tana's on that restaurant with all the pictures up. Sammy was like, Satan is as powerful as God. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? He says, why do you think there's so much anger in the world?
But they're just joking, right?
On the calendarofscripture.com, painting of Circe, C-I-R-C'-E, her right hand has a cup, the cup of the fornication that she gives to nations. This is why we call California. The original term of California did not start with the letter C. It started with the letter K. Kali. Well, who was Kali? K-A-L-I. Glad you asked. Kali is a six-armed goddess demon within the religion of Hinduism, with the skulls of men on her body. That's Kali. She was the consort of the male demon god called Shiva, S-H-I-V-A, also within Hinduism, who has 4 arms. Wait a minute. So Kali, K-A-L-I, has 6 arms. Her consort, she's the consort of her husband, another demon, Shiva, who has 4 arms. 6 and 4, 10. Here comes the counterfeit. So Satan says, you know what? I know God created the universe in 10 dimensions in Genesis 1, but I'm going to bring back a counterfeit of 10, mixed in with demons of Kali, 6, and Shiva, 4 arms, or 4, 6, 46 chromosomes. So California, Kali, the goddess, which means life or dark life in Hinduism, then the term fornia. Brother, this is where you get the term fornication. Oh my God. Oh Lord, have mercy.
The goblet of fire, right?
Look at that.
This is the same image.
Oh my God. Say that again.
So I'm pulling this up
when
I edit it. So the fourth book, I want to say, of Harry Potter, which wrote J.K. Rowling with the tattoo
Yeah,
on
with
the back
tattoo.
from it.
Yes, yes.
So basically, he holds this wand in the left hand and this goblet in his right hand. This is the same thing as you mentioned.
Same thing for Cersei. Yeah. You see, she holds.
But it's so freaking connected like this. But do you think they do this intentionally? Or this is the demons or the Satan is working through them?
It's both. They do it intentionally, but through the demons of intentionality. In other words, with Cersei, the chalice in her right hand, this is inside is pharmakia. You ever see those pharmacology symbols of a cup or a bowl?
With a snake.
Yeah. Also with a utensil that breaks down the powder of a pill. Okay? And on her left hand is a wand made out of holly. Hollywood.
Can somebody tell me why all these celebrities have been showing up with what looks like to be a hidden ankle monitor? Perhaps this has something to do with what P. Diddy has gotten up to lately, because it's not just Oprah who has one of these. Ellen DeGeneres and many other celebrities have been caught with what looks to be an ankle monitor. And this goes into the whole boot phenomenon, where some people theorized that they actually had to wear these to hide a ankle monitor beneath them because of a secret court order, but they also had to show up some days with a boot on the wrong foot to be like a secret reveal to the public that they had been compromised somehow. They even got Arnold on here. This was all even reported on in the news. And then there was this weird moment on Oprah's show where all these celebrities showed up and they all raised their hands the same way. Here, I'll show you the full clip because I thought it was super weird. He does not look happy to be here. There was the two hands there.
If you think you got a bad commute, you don't want no part of this one. This is the Lorenbahn, and it's a narrow gauge railway that connects mainland Germany to the Halligan Islands. This thing stretches over 2 miles through the Wadden Sea, and with no road access, this is pretty much their driveway. And if you think this looks sketchy, when high tide hits, the entire track can disappear underwater. Most of the families own small diesel-powered carts to get their groceries and supplies from the mainland back to the house. The more you know.
So what do you think of the video? You like it or you love it? Don't forget to subscribe and share the content with someone you want to see on the other side of this simulation. And with that, I gotta say, thank you to my channel members. We said thank you, to my channel members. No Diddy when I say member. Thank you to my channel members. Fuck you if you're not a member. Nah, I'm just kidding, but seriously, join. Thank you